Yo guys, so I know I seem to have a habit of finding random or obscure manga, but the one I'm going to talk about today is actually seriously one to keep an eye out for. So let me not waste any time and tell you what it is and why I think you should give it a shot. If you do go on to enjoy the video, drop a like and subscribe because it gives me a chance to throw hands with the algorithm, but otherwise let's get into it. So today's video is centered around Kurogane no Valhallian, or in English, Valhallian The Black Iron. It's a manga about a samurai warrior who has survived the Mongolian invasion of Japan and has returned to his home of his clan named the Soma clan. He has a daughter and she practically begs him to train her in the way of the Soma sword style, but he declines, I guess out of fear of her safety. He doesn't want to send her off to war or such. Anyway, that sort of draws to a close and our samurai warrior goes for a little power nap, and when he wakes up in Valhalla. And for those of you who don't know, that's basically the land of the dead in Norse mythology, for people that die in battle. Now, Valhalla here in this story is the Hall of the Dead for all sorts of warriors from different places and time periods. For example, it's not just samurais, but it's Roman soldiers and such too. He's greeted by a Valkyrie who cracks some jokes about his shrimp dick, and then begins to support him on this journey to what I assume will be his attempt to escape from Valhalla back to the world of the living to look after his daughter. It's sort of like getting isekai to a messed up place and going, nah, no thank you, take me back home please. So the story itself doesn't seem to be anything groundbreaking. It almost actually feels like it's going to be a mix of Record of Ragnarok, but with a different kind of storyline behind it. But what I can say from my first impressions is this: there is a good mixture of mystery and tension around the plot that is keeping me wanting to read and find out what is going on. The cast of characters also so far seem very strong. No one seems one-dimensional or flat, and if anything actually they're pretty interesting. You want to know more about the main character's backstory and the Soma fighting style. You wonder what challenges his daughter is going to face back in the real world, and now we've also got this mysterious Valkyrie appearing to help him out. The only thing that actually hasn't made an appearance yet is a definitive antagonist, so I guess that we'll have to see what they are going to be like. I'm making a lot of presumptions here which you guys might find weird, but it's because at the moment there are only 2 or 3 chapters out, and a lot of the translations I can find online are in French, and well, I don't read French. So with this manga I basically wanted to tell you guys that it exists and give you some information about it, but why should you go out of your way to be on the lookout for this manga? There's always a bunch of new series coming out that could be good, so if the premise itself didn't get you interested alone, there's a couple other things which I think might grab your attention. The first one being that the art is fantastic. It has action sequences which are pretty fucking violent and it's very easy to follow, and that's something that I always tend to complain about when it comes to manga fights, but here no issue, can follow things very easily. The character designs themselves also have all these different types of armor and a lot of detailing, so if you like that, this manga has that too. It looks good, and you might realize when reading it that it looks very similar in a way to Kingdom, and there's a reason for that. That's because as well as being published in the same magazine as Kingdom, the author was an assistant to the Kingdom mangaka. And I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but this always seems to be a good indicator of a good manga coming out. If you take a look at something like Chainsaw Man, the author Tatsuki Fujimoto, 3 of his previous assistants went on to make 3 hit manga. These of course are Spy Family, Hell's Paradise Jigokuraku, and Dan Da Dan. So I want to say by assisting the author of Kingdom, I think he probably knows his shit. And he also has another fairly high rated manga called Rikodu. Haven't personally heard of it myself or read it, but I don't know if one of you guys have, tell me about it in the comments below. And to top it all off, this manga, Kurogane no Valhallian, as of making this video only has about 160 readers on my anime list, which is absolutely nothing, so I really wanted to just bring more attention to this manga. And if you're the type of person who likes to hop on hidden gems, or maybe you just read a lot of manga and you're looking for something different, or you're just looking for a new series, then you can at least say that I've given you a heads up for this. When I saw how little people were talking about this or reading this, I kind of felt like I had to make a video on it because it seems pretty promising so far, and it's also being created by someone who should be a pretty talented author. And that pretty much wraps up what I wanted to say. So if you want to see more manga content from me, typically more discussion based and review based, you know, different from today's informative video, then subscribe and maybe leave a like or something, I don't know. And as always, remember to drink some water and take it easy. Peace.